What's going on, guys? My name is Kinetic Kid, and welcome to episode 3 of this New York Mets franchise. And we start this one off with an absolute banger of a deal. We have been struggling. These two players, Jose Reyes and Asdrubal Cabrera, have been struggling. Well, Asdrubal hasn't been struggling much, but he has not been giving us the power that we were looking for. So we decided to make a deal. We're trying to get younger. These are two older players with bigger contracts. So what we are going to do is trade for Ryan Schimpf. As you can see, absolutely insane power. So I think that could be a very dynamic player for us. I hope we're going to try to get him to start like full time. But we're having Ryan Schimpf out here. We're getting center field prospect, which I know we're deep in center field. We have Nimmo, but it's always good to have depth. We're getting Jemiah Jones. As you can see, 99 base running aggressiveness. And he will be a good hitter, I believe. 72 vision, you don't really need to sculpt that. And he's only 20 years old. And we are also... oh, gosh. Ooh. I think we're going to go with Brandon Marsh because of the age. He's a left-handed bat. We don't have much depth at the corner outfield positions, as Yoenis Cespedes. Only 2 years remaining, and I don't think we're gonna keep him next year, especially the way that we've been playing so far. And a Jay Bruce replacement as soon as possible. Maybe we let Jay Bruce walk in a couple of years. I think that Brandon Marsh is a very, very good player to take his place. I mean, they have a very similar repertoire, except obviously Brandon Marsh does not have that power that Jay Bruce has, but he definitely has the ability to develop that. No, that's obviously not going to work. So I think we're going to go through with this trade. And they say it sounds like a good deal to them. So that was a very big blockbuster trade, and I will get back to you guys when I show you the new renovated lineups post that trade. Following that trade, we have a significant vacancy when it comes to the backup outfielder position. So there are a few options that we could go with, but I believe we are going to go with Michael Saunders to join this Mets team. He was an all-star in 2016, believe it or not. He just slumped in the second half. And then 2017 was not his greatest year. We're going to try to bring back Michael Saunders, and hopefully he can have a good year. The roster's currently full, but he will be on the team. So that's a new pickup that I'm actually pretty excited about. Okay, so I made a little bit of a boo-boo earlier. When I was recording this video, it was going to be a live comm, but my mic, in fact, was broken, which is not the greatest thing to see, but basically what I did was I traded away Jerry Blevins, as you can see right there, some guy named Jeff McNeil I had no idea of, and a shortstop prospect who was 19 years old, looked like he could be decent in the future, but I wasn't really worried about him, Andres Jimenez, for Carson Fulmer. I decided to make this deal go through just because Carson Fulmer is an A potential pitcher on a team that has a lot of A potential pitchers, so they didn't really need him, and we definitely did need a pitcher. As you can see, DeGrom and Syndergaard are our only two A potential pitchers, and they are already fully developed. So we want a few more developmental prospects. As you can see, we're very deep in a lot of positions. So we ended up making this Carson Fulmer deal go through if I can actually submit it. But I think this was very good value. We shed a lot of cap, and they do in fact accept it. So that's gonna bring us into our rotation now. Now you can see Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, Steven Matz, Robert Gsellman, and Seth Lugo will still be our two main men, but Jason Vargas is going to be brought up to the majors to be our long reliever / second lefty. You can see last year he was a very good starter, but after, I think, I'm not sure what happened, but he's 35 years old, so that might have something to do with his regression. As you can see, our lineup looks about the same as it did before, and I think we're safe to sim a couple days up to the Atlanta Braves series, past the Atlanta Braves series, and we're gonna end up being 14-17 going into this series. Against the Rockies, as you can see, Zach Wheeler was great, Blake Taylor was great, and those guys don't really matter. But let's actually check out our young guys after we shut Justin Allegri the fuck up. We're gonna go sort to potentials. You can see Yoenis Cespedes, it went up a little bit, but we have Ahmed Rosario, who hasn't gone up much, only hitting 174, which is not fantastic. And we also got to fix training really quick, but we have Ahmed Rosario going up. And by the way, Carson Fulmer not getting that training, and same with Ryan Schimpf, could be costly, so I got to make sure not to do that in the future. But yeah, we're going to go back over to the roster and see if we got much progression. Ahmed Rosario a little bit. Cecchini only goes down. Dominic Smith doesn't go up much, and he's only a 50 overall. We got Brandon Nimmo going up. Carson Fulmer not really going up because he wasn't even training for us. These guys are already MLB ready. And Zach Wheeler's potential going up, which is fantastic to see. Thomas Nido. Chris Flex in the 44 overall going up, which is very necessary for his development. So you can see last year he was absolutely horrific. So he did deserve that 44, but I'm not going to be able to say that guy. Justin Dunn doing pretty well. A lot of B potentials. Mark Vientos only in single A, but yep, that's going to pretty much round out the potentials of our guys. As we're going to go over to the lineups and make sure that they are the same and check out maybe the performance of these guys. It's Brandon Nimmo and Yoenis Cespedes both having very good years. Same with Michael Conforto and Todd Frazier struggling. Ryan Schimpf only 1 home run, which is odd to see from him. Ahmed Rosario struggling. Jay Bruce turned it around a lot. Wilmer Flores doing fantastic, and Travis d'Arnaud, who will have a pretty good game. Just a sneak peek, he's doing pretty well. As Tommy Joseph, only 1 home run as a power guy off the bat, isn't great to see. But we are going to go into this Colorado Rockies series and hopefully get a dub against Chad Bettis. Okay, so we are back on this beautiful afternoon as the New York Mets are going to face off against yours truly, the Colorado Rockies. The Mets are 14-18 coming into this game, and the Rockies are 19-14. So this will be a very interesting game. I hope that we see a lot of scoring. We haven't really seen that yet at all, but let's see the beautiful view of Citi Field, as this is going to be hopefully a very entertaining game. Yep, that's right, Matt. Matt Vasgersian nailed it on the head once again. What a stud. What a beautiful stud. Now here's Steven Matz. He has 6 starts on the year with a 2-2 record, a 3.41 ERA in 37 innings, giving up 35 hits and 16 walks with 27 strikeouts. Pretty good so far in a very small sample size. He's going to face off against a very impressive Rockies lineup. Here's DJ LeMahieu. He's hitting 367. Obviously going to make sure that it's on the correct settings. And the 2-1 count from Steven Matz. And that one's hit the other way and caught. So a nice catch by Asdrubal Cabrera as DJ LeMahieu is down. You know, I don't want to do this post-com right now. I really don't, but I'm kind of forced to. As this is a series I'm committed to. I'm not going to let any of these games not go commentated, but not really in the mood right now, and I'm kind of pissed, as here is Gerardo Parra. And we pause again because we're stupid. 1-1 count from Steven Matz. And he is going to hit this one over to the third baseman, Todd Frazier, who will make the play. So, a couple of lineouts for these Colorado Rockies in the top of the first. And here's Charlie Blackmon. 1-1 count. That one is going to be called a strike. Little borderline there, but they'll take it. 1-2 count from Mr. Steven Matz to the power hitting lefty Charlie Blackmon. And that one's going to be above the zone to make it a 2-2 count. Check out the umpires for today, as it's going to be Dave Lawrence manning home plate, but no one cares about umpires because they do not hit balls with their bats. 2-2 count. And this one's hit the other way, but caught by Todd Frazier, so 3 lineouts. And the Rockies will be retired on a 1-2-3 inning for Stevie Matz. God. Now here is Chad Bettis. He is 3-2 so far in the season with a 2.50 ERA. 39 innings pitched, 38 hits. Been pretty good so far, and he's going to face the young shortstop Ahmed Rosario. 1-1 count to him. And he misses on the changeup. Looked like he was a little bit late on that one, as that brings up a 1-2 to the very, very speedy shortstop. And that one's going to be inside on him to make it a 2-2. And the 2-2 count. That one's going to be low and outside to make it a 3-2. So he is working the count a little bit here, which is something that you like to see from young shortstops and young prospects overall, like Ahmed Rosario. So that one's going to be hit up the middle pretty hard, but it's going to be stabbed over there at shortstop by Trevor Story. So he will be retired for the first out of the inning. It's not the beginning of the season. I'm a flipping idiot. 2-1 count to Yoenis Cespedes. And that one's above the zone, so a 3-1 count now. And the 3-1 to Cespedes is swung past and missed. The 3-2 now to the power hitting left fielder, and that one's going to be hit up the middle. So Yoenis Cespedes gets the first hit of the ball game for either side, as it's going to have a runner on first with 1 out for Michael Conforto. So let's check that one out again. Got an inside changeup and decided to muscle that one up the middle. Cespedes always has a beautiful swing, so that one's obviously very satisfying. Here's Michael Conforto with a 2-2 count. And he's going to swing past the high fastball. So, first strikeout of the game for either side, as Chris Rusin throws a high and outside fastball to absolutely destroy Michael Conforto and kill his dreams. 1-2 to Mr. Ryan Schimpf. New pickup traded for Asdrubal Cabrera and Jose Reyes, as that one's going to be hit the other way. So, Ryan Schimpf gets his first hit of the night, and it's going to come in the first inning. Gets a high and inside slider, something you'd expect a guy like Ryan Schimpf to absolutely crush. But instead of hitting a bomb, he gets a single the other way, which, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's a huge improvement for him. He was 0 for 30 in spring training, but people have seen his electric power, and they know that he can probably do things that aren't always power-oriented. There's a 3-2 count to Todd Frazier. Talk about power. And not much else, is Todd Frazier hitting below 180 with 5 home runs. 3-2 count. And that one's tapped the other way. So, Chris Rusin getting a lot of pitches that he's forced to throw. Yes, there's the 3-2 to the guy. And he hits this one high and deep the other way, but it looks like it will get out of play. That one would have definitely been gone if he could have kept that fair, but it looks like he cannot. And this one will be brought back to a 3-2 count. And he will swing, and they say he went on the check swing. So instead of drawing a walk, they ring him up for the strikeout. But the Mets get 2 hits on 0 runs. And the game will remain tied, scoreless, 0-0. Now to the top of the second, where we will see Nolan Arenado get his first action of the night. Arenado is the cleanup hitter tonight against Steven Matz. And obviously he's a very impressive hitter, as he is well renowned as one of the best third basemen in the whole entire league, and probably the best third baseman in the NL. No disrespect to Justin Turner, but definitely believe that that title would go to Nolan Arenado. As here's the 2-2 count to the stud Muffin, and he will hit it the other way for a single. Michael Conforto will come in and charge, but there's no use, as it's going to be a no-out lead-off single for Nolan Arenado to bring up the power-hitting Trevor Story, who is 2 for his last 23. That does not mean you can count out Trevor Story. He has 15 RBI, even hitting down 217 with only a couple of homers. But this one's grounded to third, to second, and to first. Ryan Schimpf makes a fantastic turn, and it will be a 3-4-3, 6-4-3. Yeah, 6-4-3 double play, because I'm pretty sure third basemen aren't first basemen. Here's a 1-1 count to Chris Iannetta, who dribbles this one up the middle. Amed Rosario will shift over there and make the play. So, after the leadoff single, the Rockies cannot get anything to go as they ground into a double play and then ground right to the shortstop. This one will be still scoreless, 0-0. Now here's Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce early in the season struggled a lot with average. Right now kind of on a hot streak, getting it up to 260 after being down at 219 at one point, as that one's going to be above the zone. Jay Bruce, you can see making his return in a Mets jersey, and he said earlier in an interview that we had with him that he's very grateful to come back to the Big Apple, as he had a very, very prolific couple of seasons with the NY Mets. As that one's going to be dribbled up the middle, and he will be retired. Next up, maybe the Mets make a move for Lucas Duda. I know it makes no sense at all, but those two were very good back in the day for the New York Mets. Now Duda balling out for the Royals, of course. As here's Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. And that one's right down the middle. A big mistake pitch for Chris Russin, but he does not get a hold of it, and that makes it a 1-2 count. And that one's hit high and deep the other way. Travis d'Arnaud drives this one, and it's going to be way out of here. The catcher, Travis d'Arnaud, gets a high fastball and absolutely clobbers it the other way. Chad Bettis visibly upset at the pitch he just gave on a silver freaking platter for that man, that boy Travis d'Arnaud, as he gets the high pitch that he was looking for and absolutely destroys that one. You can see the Mets fans going absolutely wild, as that's something that you haven't really seen much from d'Arnaud, and that's a power stroke over the last couple of years. But this year he's delivering it. 4th home run of the season. You can see he's behind that ball. He does not expect fastball, but his bat speed is so ridiculous that he can still take that pitch out of the park. And that brings up Brandon Nimmo. He has very interesting splits. It's 347 on the road, but only 217 here at Citi Field. Citi Field is a hitter's ballpark, so that's a very interesting anecdote. This one's hit high and deep the other way. Do they have another one? No, they do not. That one's going to be foul. That brings up the 1-2 to Brandon Nimmo. And he dribbles this one over near the shortstop. Trevor Story makes a throw across his body and guns out the speedy center fielder Brandon Nimmo. That brings up the pitcher Steven Matz. Steven Matz hit a home run in his first ever at-bat. So He definitely has that pop, but he's not going to hit anything well. He's chasing pitches like that. The 1-2. That one's dribbled over near the third baseman, Nolan Arenado, who's obviously going to make that play. He's a Gold Glover, for Christ's sakes. So, the Mets score 1 on the Travis d'Arnaud opposite field home run, as the Rockies trail the Mets 1-0. Sorry, I missed that play. I was getting ham in the announcer's booth. This is your weekly reminder to buy as many ham as you can, as that is who sponsors Mets games. Ham. As that one's gonna be a hit over near left field, but it's gonna be caught by Yoenis Cespedes, so Ryan McMahon cannot get on base. And here's Chad Bettis, the pitcher, and they're gonna call that borderline strike a ball. Now the 2-1 count to the pitcher, and he swings at the slider low near the bottom of the zone. 2-2. That one's gonna be taken, so 3-2 count to the pitcher here. And he's gonna swing at a ball out of the zone. Not the greatest decision he's ever made in his life, as Mats gets out of the inning. 1-2-3. Here's Ahmed Rosario. Grounded out his first at bat of the game. And the 1-1. And he's going to take that pitch, so that's going to be a 2-1 count now. That one's also taken. Ahmed Rosario being very selective this at bat. 3-1. And that one's going to be tapped backwards. So, Ahmed Rosario drawing 2 straight full counts. And the 3-2 now. And this one's hit hard the other way. Ahmed Rosario will get on base with a single the other way. And that one's going to bring up Yoenis Cespedes to get another chance. You can see this one, a low inside fastball that he takes with his inside out swing. And now here is the left fielder, who already has a single tonight. 2-2. And he does not check. So, Yoenis Cespedes is rung up on strikes, and that's the first out of the inning. So let's check this one out with show motion. He definitely went. No contest there. Now the 1-1 count to Michael Conforto. And the runner is going. And Ahmed Rosario will slide in there safely. So 2-1 count with a runner on second for the power hitting left fielder. And the delivery from Mr. Rusin will be a low and outside fastball. They do not want to walk a guy like Michael Conforto in this situation. As Ryan Schimpf, we all know about his power. The 3-1 count. That one's grounded over to the second baseman. That was a ball he could have destroyed, but he just gets over it. And that brings up the power bat Ryan Schimpf. He has a single earlier today. The 1-1. And he taps backwards that way low changeup to make it a 1-2. And the pitch. And that one's tapped backwards. So, it looks like these Mets hitters are a little bit above that two-seamer constantly. 1-2 once more. That one's low and inside for a changeup. We're going to bring it to a 2-2 now. And that one smacked! But Nolan Arenado makes the fantastic play to rob the New York Mets of probably extra bases, as Ryan Schimpf is noticeably upset. And I would be too. Now here's DJ LeMahieu. Lined out his first time up. And we're going to sim to the 8th inning and see if anything can go on. So far looks pretty humdrum. Last time we actually simmed, they didn't score at all. And it looks like that may happen right now. Wow, Arenado double. And no one scores. So we will hop back into the 8th inning. Steven Matz still on the bump. Only surrendered 2 hits. And here's a 3-2 count to Trevor Story. And he gets this one through the gap between the shortstop and the third baseman. And Yoenis Cespedes overruns the ball. And now Trevor Story will get on second to begin the inning. And here's Chris Iannetta, as they are going to warm up Jason Vargas. Three-two to Iannetta, and he will rip the low curveball down the line. An RBI single for Chris Iannetta. That ball wasn't even close to the zone, but he still took it down near the third base side. And here is Ian Desmond for the 1-1. So they'll go third, second, and he drops it on the transfer. Ryan Schimpf cannot hold on to that one, as there is a runner on first with 1 out. And the delivery will be over to shortstop Amador Rosario. Over to Ryan Schimpf, and a nice stretch by Jay Bruce will get him out. So the Mets surrender 1 on the RBI single for Chris Iannetta, as it's tied now 1-1. They will bring in Mike Dunn. He has a 1.54 ERA coming into this appearance. And here's Michael Conforto. 3-1 count. And that one's ripped over to the shortstop, but it is going to be halted. So that's out number 1. Here is the power hitting lefty, Ryan Schimpf. The 0-2 count to him. Oh! And he absolutely rockets the slider over the middle of the plate. He will get a double there, as he takes the slider and hits it the other way. Fantastic piece of hitting for Ryan Schimpf. And that brings up Todd Frazier. Frazier hitting 176 with 4 home runs and 15 RBI. As Paul Sewell starts warming up in the bullpen. No, he doesn't. The 1-1 count to Mr. Todd Frazier. And he takes the curveball and ropes that one in the gap. That will be an RBI double for Todd Frazier. And the Mets will take the lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Todd Frazier absolutely ecstatic after that big-time hit. Let's check this one out again. Curveball right over the middle of the plate. Frazier does what every good hitter does and waits on that one, getting a double in the gap. And now Tommy Joseph will come in for Jay Bruce to try to get some insurance runs. 1-1 count. That one's inside. Sinker almost hits his kneecap there. Now the 2-1. Tommy Joseph came in as a power hitter, but has not really showed a lot of power for the Mets. Only 1 home run so far this season. And here's the 2-2 delivery. And Tommy Joseph hits this one high and deep the other way, and this one will get out of here. Another opposite field shot for these New York Mets, as whenever they hit the ball the other way, it seems to deliver in runs. As Todd Frazier, oh my, wow. hits an RBI double, and then Tommy Joseph brings him in with a 2-run home run to put the Mets atop 4-1. That one's a beautiful shot. Just stayed fair. And now here's Travis d'Arnaud. 1-1 count. And that one's taken inside for a ball. Mike Dunn gonna stay in the game, which is an odd decision. 2-1. And that one's gonna be taken outside. So d'Arnaud works it to a 3-1 count. Nimmo's on deck. And the delivery. And he hits this one up the middle. So Mike Dunn gives up 4 straight hits and 3 runs. And he will be taken out, I believe. As that was an outside fastball waiting to get hammered up the middle. Now here's Adam Ottavino. What? Adam Ottavino. He has 20 strikeouts in 14 innings. And the 0-2 count. That one's tapped away. It looks like Mr. Nimmo did not see any of that ball. And the 0-2. And that one's way down and inside to make it a 1-2. Chris Rusin in the bullpen now for the Rockies. The 1-2. And that one will be low and inside and get past the catcher. But a lucky Karam will keep the runner at first. The 2-2 now. And that one will be taken below the zone. So Brendan Nimmo works a 3-2 count against Adam Ottavino. So the full count pitch. And it's going to be hit hard, but right to the shortstop. So that will be a line out. And the pitcher, Steven Matz, is going to stay in this ball game. He's 0 for 3 today, hitting an .067 average on the year. And the 1-1. And Steven Matz takes this one the other way, and it will drop. So, a single for Steven Matz, bringing up runners on first and second for Ahmed Rosario. Throws a high outside fastball, and Steven Matz just lets the ball get in as far as possible. Now here is Mr. Ahmed Rosario to try to bring in these runners. 1-1. And this one's hit up the middle. But, it looks like Trevor Story will make a fantastic play to make the pickup and then run over to second base. So, the Mets score 3 runs on, I believe, 5 hits, as they will be leading 4-1. Tommy Joseph will stay in as the first baseman, and here is Carlos Gonzalez. 1-1 count to him. And that one's taken inside. So that's ball 2. Here's a 2-1 now. And that one's hit high and deep near right center field. And Michael Conforto will make a fantastic catch on the run to get the first out of the inning for Steven Matz's shutout. 2-1 count now. That one's taken outside. 3-1. And that one's tapped. So, full count now to DJ LeMahieu. And this one's hit the other way, and that's going to be a single. As this might be the end of the day for Steven Matz, unless the manager has other plans. That one taken the other way. 1-1 count to Gerardo Parra. That one's going to be tapped foul. 1-2 now. That one's also foul. So another 1-2 to Para. And this one will be hit to shortstop, second, and first. Oh, he will beat it out. So the Rockies will keep themselves alive on the fielder's choice. Here is Charlie Blackmon. He's 1 for 3 with a double today. And this one's grounded near the second baseman, but they will not be able to get to it. And there are two runners on for Nolan Arenado. Huge situation right now. The 1-1 count. That one's going to be taken low. Now the 2-1. And this one's ripped down the first base line, but it's going to be foul. 2-2 now. And that one was right over the plate, but foul. Steven Matz needs one more out to get out of this ball game. And he will get it, I believe. Yes, he will. Michael Conforto gets over there, and Steven Matz throws the complete game on the 4-1 victory for the New York Mets. Player of the game, gonna have to go to Steven Matz, I believe. Had a fantastic outing, and one he should be very, very proud of. Rockies fans will go back to their beds crying. Now it's time for the post-game analysis. I truly believe that this was one of our best games of the season, showing that we could be a cohesive team together and fight back together, or at least fight together to break a tie or get an early lead. The fact that we did both of those two things, I think, was fantastic. Some cons I saw a couple of fielding mistakes, especially the one that resulted in the run for Yoenis Cespedes. But other than that, I was very, very happy with what I saw. Ryan Schimpf going 3 for 4, showing, and this is very important for him, showing that he is not just a home run hitter. He is a versatile hitter. He can get singles, he can get doubles, he can get whatever he wants. But this was a huge plus. I've been Kinetic Kid, and I'm signing out.